Whether new shooter, longtime gun owner, or even police officer or soldier, your handgun needs a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Crimson Trace.
This is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, now available on iTunes and other podcast clients, and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for iPhone and Android. Feel free to call Tom now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN or 866-825-5486, or email tom@guntalk.com. Now, once again, here's Tom.
Alrighty, continuing the funness that we have around here. By the way, a lot of deals out there right now, and you know, if you could get 25% on your money invested somewhere, you would run to do that, wouldn't you? What if you could buy stuff at 25% off? Well, right now you can at the shopguntalk.com. That's our website, you know. That's where we sell our stuff, our videos, and hey, we just got in a new batch of hats. Very cool Gun Talk hats. We've got the Guns and Gear hats. 25% off, but only, pay attention, if you order them with your Gun Dealio smartphone app. Besides, you want that. Literally, like 5 minutes ago, I get an alert on my phone while I'm sitting here waiting for the show to start again. Gun Dealio says, here's another deal from, this one's from Crossbreed Holsters. She's got one from Loophole. Special things out. I mean, that's a lot of good deals. You can save money on guns. So grab the Gun Dealio smartphone app for your Android or your iPhone. It's free. And right now, if you use that to go to shopguntalk.com, and that's when you get your app and you get it fired up, go to alerts, go to deals, and look for the exclusive deals. That's where you're going to find that deal. Let's see. Guns and Gear is running this week. We've got the 6-hour Elite Performance Ammo Mossberg's MVP rifle family, some cool, smart optics from ATN, also on Gun Talk TV. A mother and a son head to the FTW Ranch in Texas Hill Country to take a course that they're doing long-range shooting and close-up shooting at dangerous game. It is, can I say this? It is wet your pants funny. It really is. I'm telling you, you will roll over laughing at these two taking this class. It is hilarious. Michelle and Colton Sereno. Speaking of Serenos, Chris Sereno was with us when we had our close encounter of the tree kind in Oregon this week. I'm not kidding, really. It came out of nowhere, that tree. People say, yeah, it's funny, it's funny. No, really, seriously. We're driving along at night. We're going from Bend, where we were with the Nosler folks, down to Medford, where we met with the Cerakote folks. It's night. We're going through a mountain pass, dug firs all over the place, heavy snow, black ice, nasty. And I swear, this tree fell right in front of us. Just came right out of crash right there. I got it almost stopped. I was probably going 20, 25 when we hit the tree. Smashed the devil out of that rental car. Funniest part was we had two cars, one behind us. Chris Sereno was driving the other one. We all pull over, get off the road. My wife says, did anybody have a flashlight? And then she starts laughing. There were 5 guys there. All of us popped out of the car, all of us with our flashlights going, waving traffic off. It was hilarious. Everybody's okay. Rental car, not so much, but we did get the full coverage. More on that as we go along. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the after show. All right, it's the time for getting stuff. And it's just fun to buy more guns. I'll actually have a funny story about that for the after show also, what happened at the car dealership yesterday. But when you're looking for guns, you want deals and you also want wide selection. Well, let me tell you about somebody who can help you out right now. Kevin Wilson joins us from Gallery of Guns, Davidson's. Hey, Kevin, Merry Christmas. How you doing, man?
Merry Christmas to you, Tom. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
All right, this has got to be like a crazy busy time for you guys.
It is absolutely going nuts, which we don't mind one bit.
You have the combination of course, the holiday season, Christmas, and et cetera, but you also have the aftermath of the San Bernardino shootings and people saying, I've been thinking about getting a gun. Maybe it's time for me to do that. And of course, a lot of them are going to their local stores, which is great because we should explain the galleryofguns.com website. You guys don't sell a gun and ship it to people. Some people who don't understand guns don't quite understand the whole deal, how it works. It's actually not legal for you to ship a gun directly to an individual, right?
That is correct. And to this day, we'll still hear a little misunderstanding on that, and it doesn't help when the media gets involved because they rarely know how that process works. But no, we are not in the retail business per se. What Gallery of Guns is the consumer side of our business, where we offer our inventory to be ordered by consumers, but it goes through our Davidson's Gallery of Guns dealers. It does get shipped to a local gun store.
Right. And so to explain, Davidson's is a distributor. It's in the business, we call it a two-step process where the manufacturer makes the gun, sends it to a distributor, and the distributor then sells it to a gun store, and then that gun store sells it to an individual. So when somebody goes to your website, galleryguns.com, and they look at all these hundreds and hundreds of guns you have, what they're really doing is looking at the distributor's warehouse. But when they order it, it's going to go to their local gun store. So you have to go to the gun store and you pick it up. And now let me ask you this. Does the gun store make money on this deal? They got to have a piece of this action somewhere, right?
Oh, they do. It's the exact same as if you went into that gun store and picked a gun out of their showcase. The difference is, instead of that gun dealer having to inventory thousands of firearms, they pick it from our warehouse inventory, and we ship it straight to that dealer. So that sale is considered a local sale for that dealer, and that's who you're supporting, even though you're getting the guns from our inventory.
Sweet. So, because we always talk about support your local gun store. In this case, you're ordering online, but you actually are supporting your gun store because the store is making its regular markup, whatever that is.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the reason we initially started the website, was to help our dealers, was to try to drive customers into our dealer stores who might not otherwise know they're there. But we also, because of our warehousing capability, we give that dealer a much larger inventory than they would otherwise be able to have physically there.
Sure. All right, this is always like the rabbit hole. I'm going down the rabbit hole again because I just went to your website, and this is the biggest time killer that I know because I just keep clicking on things and going, oh, look at that. Ooh, I sound like a monkey over here. Ooh, 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 look at that. Look at that. I mean, you got special deals that aren't available any other place, and guns that you can't get any other place. And I see it like a Ruger 1022 all decked out with tactical stuff, and it's pretty crazy what you have available. Do you have any idea how many guns how many different models you guys actually inventory?
Oh, that's a tough number. I didn't
think so.
At last count, I think we represent around 70 different manufacturers.
Wow.
So take that times their product line. That's what we carry.
Right, and you got your exclusives.
Now, the exclusives is something we have a lot of fun with, and this is where Davidson's gets together directly with a manufacturer, and they put a gun together based on some specifications we suggest, and come out with a model that is made just for us, and we're the only place you can get that gun. Now, when I say that, I mean, obviously, our gun dealers get that gun from us, or you can order it directly through Gallery of Guns and have it sent to that local dealer. But we have a lot of fun with that, and this year probably did more exclusives than I've seen in several years. And by exclusives, what we're talking about is we'll do different type stocks, different finishes, different barrel lengths, calibers that might not otherwise be available in a particular model. But we have a lot of fun with it and come up with some very unique guns.
I could just envision you guys sitting around a table and you're all doing the, what if we did this? And then somebody says, yeah, but what if we also did this? And you're going, and somebody's writing it down on a little legal pad over there. You're going, well, yeah, we'll get Ruger to do this, and it's like the great brainstorming session.
Sometimes there's a lot of that put into it. We do have one main guy that spearheads that effort, and he comes up with a lot of these by himself. He's been in the industry for decades and knows more about firearms than anybody I've ever known. And he will come up with something a lot of times that I think, man, I wish I'd thought about that, and it just takes off and sells like hotcakes.
Well, it also gives you a chance to have something that nobody else at the range is likely to have. And a lot of them are pretty, not just different, but they're cool looking. It's like really bright finishes on pistols and things. It's just pretty neat. Explain what the process is. We've been talking about all this, but just for people who are saying, okay, I would like to look at it, how does it work?
Okay, the way Gallery of Guns works, you go to our website, galleryofguns.com, and there's a great big button on the left-hand side called the Gun Genie. And we call it that because it helps you find your gun. When you bring up the Gun Genie, there are several drop boxes that help narrow it down. You can pick by a brand, a model series, a caliber, a type of gun, whether it be rifle, pistol, revolver, and narrow all that down. And we'll pull up everything we have that fits that category. Once you find the particular gun you like, what we're going to show you is a retail price, but there will be an instant quote button. And let me add, when you're drilling down, you bring this gun up, we're going to show you all the specs on it, the weights, the barrel lengths, caliber, et cetera, et cetera. When you hit the instant quote button, we're going to ask you for your zip code. And the reason we're doing that is we're going to bring up the dealers within a geographical area. So you say, give me 25 miles, give me 50 miles. For this particular zip code, we will show you every dealer in that area and what that dealer is quoting to charge you for that gun. So you find the gun you like, you find the price you like, and you accept that offer. And what we'll do is we'll take a 25% deposit online, which gets passed on to the dealer, and then we ship that gun to the dealer that you have selected. And depending on where it is, it can be as little as 48 hours later, that dealer has your gun in his store. You go to that dealer, you complete your paperwork, the next check, whatever background checks are applicable, pay him the remaining balance, and take your gun home.
That's pretty darn easy. It's a really simple process. So I guess you are shipping guns like crazy. Now, we may be too late now for people to get their guns for Christmas. What do you think?
Depending on where you are, you probably still can get it. We are running into a little bit of a delay in shipping, and by a little bit, I mean we may have added one day to what we normally do. But in the last 2 weeks, yes, it has gone through the roof.
Well, you have it in time for 2016 anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And, like I say, go to that local gun dealer anyway, because they're buying from us anyway. So if you can't necessarily get it online fast enough, they may have it in stock anyway.
There you go. Go to your local gun store, get it there, and there you go. I really appreciate it, Kevin. I love what you guys do. Love the exclusives. I made a mistake of going there and I found like a whole bunch of left-handed rifles that I didn't know you had. Darn you guys. Swear.
Well, I tell you, that's one of our exclusives, the Ruger American left-hand stainless. Every caliber they make, that's exclusive to Davidson's.
I know. I found those, darn it. But that's okay. There's a cure for that, right? It's called a credit card. We can take care of that.
You got that right.
Look, you guys have a great Christmas. I appreciate it. I'll see you at SHOT Show.
Tom, you do the same, and thanks so much for having us.
All righty. Open lines, 866-TALK-GUN.
Accurate, powerful, consistent. At Double Tap Ammunition, we offer 364 loads in 83 calibers that give you exactly what you've been looking for. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
& Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently. When it comes to personal protection, nothing beats a Bodyguard. Choose the lightweight, compact, and concealable Bodyguard 380 pistol or the Bodyguard 38 revolver, both with a built-in laser sight. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently.
In the field or on the range, you need a trigger you can trust. For over 60 years, Timney triggers have been trusted by hunters and shooters everywhere. A Timney trigger could mean the difference between a great shot and a miss. Timney triggers are proudly made in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. To order, go to timneytriggers.com. That's TIMNEY triggers.com.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you know you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Bata Group. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle combines features of the Ruger American Rifle and innovations of the 1022 Rimfire Rifle to appeal to all bolt-action enthusiasts. It features a modular stock system that provides comb height options for scope or iron sight use, a power bedding integral bedding block system for outstanding accuracy, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, and a 1022-style rotary magazine for reliable feeding. The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
At Double Tap Ammunition, we hand inspect every round that we make, and we use only the best components to give you the best ammunition on the market. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
All right, back with you. Ray is on line 4. He's in Grants Pass, Oregon. Ray, I just had my little accident up there in Oregon. We were in Bend, and then we were in Medford. Those are some interesting roads you've got up there in the mountains, my friend.
Yes, sir, they are. Were you coming off the 97 from Bend, I gather? And
yep, on 140.
Let's see. I drive for a living, so I'm up and down the state all the time. But yeah, during the last week, we got a ton of snow. And we had lights go out, and so we figured, okay, let's go to the restaurant hunt. Let's go do something. I'll play in the snow. But yeah, it gets tricky out here. It gets tricky.
When you see the 18-wheelers going 20 miles an hour on a highway, you're thinking they know something here because we're just on black ice.
And you know what? I used to drive 18-wheelers. I did it for 10 years. And going through the Siskiyous or off of 84 in Oregon, they call it Cabbage, and all that sort of stuff, it minus 20 degrees coming out of Utah, and it's tricky. It really is. But I'm glad
I'm
you're
telling
safe.
You. Oh yeah, I mean this tree fell right in front of us. We saw it crash, and then it was all we could do to get slowed down. We couldn't stop completely, but we slowed down before we hit it. But it was exciting, I'll tell you that.
It does get exciting. Sometimes it's so white-knuckled, you're just like, what did I do this trip for?
That's right. All right, how can we help you today? What can I do for you?
Yeah. I called up last week, and we discussed being a training nut, and I developed a bit of a flinch, so I purchased a BB rifle. Just to get rid of that, and it worked great. And me and soon-to-be father-in-law, he's an ex-Marine, and he goes, come on over here, and I'm going to show you how to shoot. And I'm not an average shooter, so I go, this is going to be some friendly competition with BB guns. The BB gun that I purchased, we were right smack dab, and it wouldn't shoot for nothing. So I'm hoping maybe some of the listeners, or yourself, or anybody out there, can recommend a great a breech barrel pellet BB gun or pellet gun.
Right.
You know?
I'll tell you what, look at the Gammo brand of adult air guns. They have a whole bunch of different ones, and you can find one that you like, but Gammo, G-A-M-O, they make some really nice guns, air rifles. They are powerful and quiet. They even have some like with built-in suppressors on them because you can do that with an air gun. But that would be my first stop would be to go take a look at what they have.
Okay, and I was looking at Ruger as well because everything from Ruger is just awesome, you know. And
right.
Soon-to-be father-in-law Jack, he has a Remington 77 Express. It feels the same weight as my 1916 7mm Mauser. It's got some heft to it, but we were shooting great with that thing as well. But
yes,
mine,
absolutely.
my little Daisy, it's like, whoops.
Well, and the other thing is, you mentioned the Ruger. Ruger is actually licensing, and they've got a bunch of really nice air guns. I just went to airgundepot.com, and there are other places you can go. But yeah, take a look at the Ruger licensed air guns. Of course, being Ruger, they're not going to license anything that is not top quality. Take a look at those. But great idea. You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because that is a super idea. If you want to run out and get yourself a cool thing for Christmas, an adult air gun, they are accurate, they are powerful. You can shoot them for less than pennies a shot, just stupidly cheap, and just tons and tons of fun. So, I mean, people say, well, I'd like to shoot more. Yeah, I know. But you could shoot these in your basement. I've actually shot them. Should I say this? I've shot them in the hallway of the house. The kids grew up shooting BB guns in the hallway of the house. We just block off the doors in the hallway and put a target down there, and it worked just fine, observing all, of course, the proper safety procedures. But yeah, an adult air gun, man, fun stuff. And if you've got a backyard where you can shoot, check your local regulations. You will love this. And they are full size. They're not like kiddie size. And they're very much precision guns. Check that out. That's a great idea. I love that. Champion Target Stopper. There you go. Oh, yeah, get a bullet trap or a pellet trap for those things. That's a good idea. I have used cardboard boxes. Sometimes they stop them. 866 Talk Gun.
Broadcasting nationwide, you're listening to Gun Talk. And now, back to Tom.
Oh, here we go again. A court has ruled that in Washington, D.C., residents have to show a need to be able to carry a gun. A federal judge's ruling that barred the district from restricting gun owners to demonstrate a good reason to obtain a concealed carry permit was vacated last week by an appeals court that found the judge did not have authority to rule on the case. In D.C., as a result of the Heller-McDonald lawsuits, Supreme Court decisions, they are required to issue concealed carry permits. They just make it so hard that almost nobody gets them. They require you to show good need. Yeah, like it's like saying, you need to show me why you should have free speech. You have to express a good need. And if we don't agree with your reasoning, in other words, no one is actually trying to kill you at the moment, then you really don't have a need for a gun. Well, this is going to get appealed. We'll chase this thing down, and it'll end up going down because it's an unconscionable restriction on constitutional rights, not to mention it is immoral to tell people, because of my politics, I require you to die. That's really what it is, isn't it? Because of the way I feel about things, I'm going to require you to be a defenseless victim to crime. If they put it that way, I think more of the public would understand. Line 2, Stu's with us out of Elko, Nevada. Stu, thank you for your patience. What's up?
Hey, Tom, here's a 30-second rant, as is my custom. We are losing the war of words, and we got to get smarten up and realize that the left hires these Freudian spin doctors to come up with politically charged buzzwords, e.g., white privilege, climate change, and assault weapon, in our case, to trigger a visceral emotional response. We got to stop using their terms because it just reinforces it. It's classical conditioning. Unless somebody like when you go alleged or so-called, but I hear these talk radio guys using the word term assault weapon. Stop it. It just reinforces it. And to go and say, oh, no, correct him, it's automatic, and hit him with facts.
No, I agree with you. Look, I did a video talking about we, gun people, have to stop using these terms, assault weapon, assault rifle. At the same time, I will tell you, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure we're losing. Now, certainly the media keeps parroting these phrases, but we just had the ABC poll come out that a majority of the people do not favor banning semi-automatic rifles. So the message is somehow getting through, which is amazing to me. And to your point, that the way the media fogs this up and they keep parroting. And then I love that they don't go with just assault weapon, which of course was a term created by Josh Sugarman. For those who don't know, there's no such, let me get this straight. There is no such thing as an assault weapon, but Josh Sugarman, who's now at the Violence Policy Center, created the term because he said, look, handguns are boring. Nobody cares about those. We've got to do something to gin everybody up. And because the public doesn't really understand the difference between semi-automatic and full automatic, we can confuse them on this. He actually wrote a paper about this. He was open about it. He said, we will call them assault weapons because there is such a thing as an assault rifle. That's a military term for a select firearm. But there is no such thing as an assault weapon. That means it can be whatever you want. It could be if it has a couple of cool features that we like. If it has a pistol grip and a flash suppressor or a bayonet lug or a forward grip or something, we'll call that evil. Or worse yet, it is military style. Style. Not a military gun, a military style gun. Well, every bolt-action rifle ever made is a military style gun. Because, of course, they were all created for the military. Originally invented, the bolt-action rifle was invented for the military. It's silly, it's senseless, it's stupid. But if the media says it often enough and fast enough, to Stu's point, it does persuade the public. It's just why we created the Truth Squad. It's why we challenge this every time. It's why you can go to a reporter and say, look, stop embarrassing yourself, because nobody wants to be embarrassed. And I have found that to be fairly effective. Say, look, dude, really, I want to help you here. You're embarrassing yourself. You're looking foolish here. You're saying things that not only are not true, but just make you look like you're ignorant. Let me help you out. And not in a condescending or not in a gotcha kind of way, but just, hey, I'm just telling you, you're looking kind of stupid here. You're looking a little foolish. I can help you out. And it's interesting. A lot of reporters will take that and go, well, I don't want to look foolish. I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to look ignorant. I don't want to look like I've been played, which they all have, of course. They've all been played by the media. So I have found that often the media can be persuaded. Often you can talk to them. Of course, that means you have to take the time and make the effort to do that. Yeah, and Jim says, hey, invite a reporter to the range. Absolutely. Say, look, would you like to come to the range and shoot some of these guns that you're writing about? Would you like to be more conversant on them? Because it's going to come up often. And you actually need to know something about it. And if you can get them to the range, take a .223, an AR-15, take a .308, take a .30-06, take maybe a .300 Magnum and put all the cartridges together and say, look, here they are. Which is the high-powered cartridge for the high-powered so-called assault weapon? If they don't know anything about it, they'll pick the big one, the .300 Magnum, and you go, no, actually, it's the little bitty one over here. It's the one that doesn't really have that much power. Great point. Says, I can help educate you. Yeah, Jim says, I can help educate you. You do want to be knowledgeable, right? Not a bad way to approach that. But you got to make the effort. You got to take the time, because trust me, however much you know, it's probably more than the reporter knows. But also you have to do it in a kind, gentle, caring, helpful way. Nobody wants to be made fun of, embarrassed, held up to ridicule. You can be persuasive, and by being persuasive, you can win. Understand, the goal is not to get somebody to say, I was wrong and you were right. Some of our guys like to do that, to force people into saying, oh, I was wrong, you were right. That's not going to happen. All you want to do is educate them and move them. It'll work, I guarantee, every time. 866-TALK-GUN.
Before Silencer Shop made it so easy to suppress firearm noise, this was considered quiet. After Silencer Shop, this is considered quiet. Help make the world a quieter place. Visit silencershop.com to find a dealer powered by Silencer Shop near you. No crickets were harmed in making this commercial.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now GUNTALK presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At shopguntalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. Shopguntalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. Shopguntalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGuntalk.com. That's ShopGuntalk.com.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at GalleryofGuns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. GalleryofGuns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
You're at a gun store and your phone tells you about hot deals. Want to know about special offers? No problem when you have Gun Dealio, the free app for your smartphone. Gun Dealio delivers the latest deals on guns, ammo, and extras direct to your phone. Don't overpay for your shooting gear. Get Gun Dealio. It's free at the App Store and Google Play. Trigger the deals with Gun Dealio. GunDealio.com.
Gunny here to talk about how Glock's commitment to safety, durability, and reliability gives one a sense of confidence. Whether you're a Tier 1 operator or you're an average Joe, Glock supports those who go into harm's way by giving them the means of reliable defense. Our troops and veterans know better than anyone. You're only as good as your tools allow. Confidence is more than a state of mind. Confidence is what you carry. And I carry Glock.
All right, back with you. Going straight to the phones. Line 1, Joe's with us out of Shreveport, Louisiana, Keo Country. Hello, Joe.
Merry Christmas, Tom.
Thank you, sir. What's up?
Before I pull out the last little bit of hair I've got left, need some help on something.
Sure.
We all know the president, by his own admission, wants gun control, and we know he's not above an executive order and probably would do that. But before I just go crazy, help me understand what that would look like. You know a lot of political people. You certainly know a lot of people in the gun industry. How would that take effect? What would be the response? I mean, how does this affect me on a local level?
The real answer to that, Joe, is right now we don't know. But I think it's a given. He's going to come back from Hawaii and institute some sort of executive action gun control. But there are limits to what he can do. In fact, there are a lot of limits to what he can do. Now, he can maybe make some changes in background checks and criteria there. He could order some things done that inevitably would probably get challenged in court. But, I had some people ask me about this actually earlier today. I said, I am not going to go down that path and say, well, it might be this or it might be that. But, we'll find out. We'll find out within a couple of 3 weeks, I'm guessing. And then we'll take that as it comes. Just all you can do is take it as it comes. So I'm just not going to borrow problems and worry about this stuff until it gets here. You said something I wanted to address. You said something about we know that he wants gun control. No, that's not what he wants. He wants gun bans. And Barack Obama has been very clear for a long time about wanting to ban a lot of different guns. He has always said he wants to ban semi-automatic rifles. He also has said he doesn't think that anybody should have a semi-automatic anything. That would be shotguns and handguns. So we know he is at heart a gun banner. So I want everybody to understand that. That's where he starts from, is that quite honestly, and I remember before his first election, he said he doesn't think that anybody should have guns for self-defense. So if he starts from the position of you simply should not have a gun, he can and will try to do as much as he can to get to his belief, his position that you shouldn't own any guns. I'm not overstating it. I'm just telling you what the man says, okay? And I take him at his word. When he says, I want to ban the sale of these guns, I believe that. But I think he wants to go further. I think he wants to go more than banning the sale. I think he would like to get to the confiscation where you have to turn them in. And, of course, that was just introduced in the House of Representatives, a national gun buyback program. Of course, you can't buy back what you've never had, so it's a buy-up program, which could be made at some point mandatory. He's already said, and Hillary Clinton, they both have said, we really need to take a look at the Australian model of forced gun confiscation. Can you imagine saying that? We need to look at forced gun confiscation in the United States of America. That's Hillary Clinton. That's Barack Obama. That's where we are. We will find out. When he gets back, we'll know what he has in his head. Liberty, let's see, let's go to line 3. Benny's with us, Corpus Christi, Texas. What are you looking at? Liberty Defense ammo? What are you looking at here, Benny?
Yes, sir, Tom. The Liberty Civil Defense ammunition of 50 grain 9mm. I understand that's copper hollow point. First off, I'm not certain as well. I looked at the gelatin tests, and I don't know if it's truly a good ammunition. But secondly, as with the G2 RIP type ammunition, how would a prosecutor look at it? And what,
Well, I would have to say this, and I'm not familiar with this particular brand. I would have to go look at it. Here's the thing. What I want first and foremost is penetration. If it doesn't penetrate and doesn't give me 15 to 18 inches in ballistic gelatin, it's not good enough for me. And so that's the first thing. It's got to penetrate because it's got to get to the vitals. It's got to stop the bad guy. It's got to stop him as fast as possible. Beyond that, yeah, it's not a bad idea to think about. How's this going to look if I have to just stand on that defense stand and talk about it? 866-TALK-GUN. Get you in here. You can also shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com, or you can join me over on Twitter. I'm at GunTalk. Be sure to follow me there. If you don't have your Gun Dealio app on your phone, shame on you. You're spending too much money. Why would you spend more money? Don't you want to buy more guns? Yeah, it's free. Get the Gun Dealio smartphone app for your phone, Android and iPhone. You will get alerts. You will get deals. You will get savings. I mean, things like, buy a gun and get 3 extra magazines. Well, yeah. Why would we not do that? All right, line 4, Paul, Eagle River, Alaska. Paul, what's up?
Hi, Merry Christmas, Tom.
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
So I wanted to share a purchase I had made, and then I had a question, and maybe you could help me out with. The first thing is, I came across a model 1956 Smith & Wesson in like 99% shape, and of all the handguns I own, it is by far and away the most accurate piece I've ever fired.
How you doing? Where'd you find it?
Estate sale. It was.
That's something.
If it wasn't so big, I'd probably use it for concealed carry. And I did some history on them, and they only made them for 2 years. And I don't know if there's that many around. If you're not familiar with it, it's that it shoots only the 45 ACPs. It's a revolver.
Okay.
And it's kind of like those old model 1917s, but, much more modern looking. I think it's on the same frame as the 44 Magnum. Anyway, so it's a real fine shooter. And then the next thing is I have been looking high and low for a Winchester Model 92 short rifle in 357 Magnum. And the reason is 2 years ago I bought both my adult daughters Smith & Wesson Night Guards in 357. And I think that's a Model 327 Night Guard, the 8-shot. And I sent them back to Smith & Wesson and had 2 new cylinders made so they would accept the 8-round moon clips.
Oh, okay, sure.
And they're both very, very proficient with them, but I wanted to get them a long gun of the same caliber. And I have one Model 92 short and 45 Colt. Very impressed with it, and I've just been looking, but they apparently don't make many of them. And when they do,
the thing to do is to put an order in somewhere. I mean, place an order and have your dealer place an order, and then when it shows up, it shows up. And if it's 6 months or if it's a year, but just looking around and trying to find one may be fruitless. You just got to get an order or 2 in.
That would be what I would do. Winchester, and they gave me the names of their 2 most high volume wholesalers, and they didn't have any.
Well, that's my point. If they don't have it now, it doesn't mean they're not going to get one. You want to be on the list to get one. You want to have an order in so that when they get one, because somebody's on the list. There's a list there, I guarantee you. And if you're not on the list, you will never get one. I mean, so calling and saying, "Do you have one?" is not the proper procedure here. For guns like this, you want to say, "I will place a hard order. I will put money down on this." And if it comes in 3 months, that's great. If it's 12 months, that's great. If it's 18 months, that's great. Whenever it comes in, I want the gun. It's the only way you get stuff like this. There's competition out there. You can't just walk around and hope that you find it when it's something like this. It's a great idea. I love the gun. Super idea. But yeah, in this case, I think you're going to have to get really proactive and get out there and place a hard order for it. That's what we're going to be doing. All right, when we come back, let's talk about hunting and hunter safety. What can we learn from these accident reports?